Hello friends, myself Jagruti Chavan. I am going to conduct the year MSc second and the subject is remote sensing GIS. The today's topic of lecture is photo interpretation techniques. We are going to conduct color composites in which we are going to study EMR spectrum, false color composite and true color composite. The second topic is what do you mean by photo interpretation techniques? And third one, which is the main topic of today's lecture, is elements of photo interpretation techniques. But first, we'll start with the recapitulation. In the previous lecture, we have covered the definition of aerial photography, then the geometry of aerial photography, in which we have studied the overlaps, then the principal points, scales, and what are the measurement techniques to determine the height of any object from the satellites or from the platforms. The session agenda, that means what we are going to conduct in today's lecture. First of all, we'll study what do you mean by color composite, in which what is false color and what is true color, and the difference between these two, false color and true color images. Secondly, we'll see what is the requirements of false color composite and true color composite. The third point is the importance of photo interpretation technique. That means whatever image we are getting from remotely sensed data, and from that image how we can interpret all the objects or phenomenons or any water, sea, soil or whatever may be the objects, how we are going to interpret it. And the third one is the elements which are being used to interpret the photo or images of remotely sensed data. We'll start with color composites. But the learning objective of color composite is, firstly, we'll study the identification of EMR spectrum. Second is the how we'll identify the false color composite image. And third one is how we'll identify the true color composite image. Now we'll start with electromagnetic spectrum. What is the requirement of electromagnetic spectrum? As we have seen in previous lecture, that electromagnetic spectrum is formed only based on the radiations which are present in the atmosphere or which is present in the surrounding, and there are different types of rays, but the important rays which is useful for us to see all the objects or phenomenon surrounding us are the visible radiations. Visible radiations ranges from 0.4 to 0.7 micrometer. So it starts from first 0.4 to 0.5 are the blue, from 0.5 to 0.6 are the green, and lastly from 0.6 to 0.7 are the red color. These are the major colors, that is blue, green and red, and rest of the shades that comes in VIBGYOR, that is we can see in the rainbow, that all shades comes under the visible radiations. So these major color, that is blue, green and red color, helps us to identify the objects, and these shades differentiate those objects in different types or different phenomenons. Now, how EMR spectrum helps us to differentiate false color composite and true color composite. First, I like to tell you that color composites, that means these are the combinations of colors, and these color combinations helps us to capture any image. Like if we are taking an image in a camera, at that time we just adjust all the phenomenons which is to be captured. Sometimes we adjust our color, sometimes we adjust our background. Similarly, the camera captures the images from a certain distance, but when we are taking an image from a satellite or from a platform, the sensors which are placed in that platform, there are different types of sensors. So according to these sensors, they are responsible to capture the image far from the distance. So when you are taking the panchromatic image means they use only the black and white color. The first image which we can see is the panchromatic image. In black and white we can just see the image, the color ranges from black, dark black to purely white color. But in that we can't differentiate the objects because the light color shows only white color and the dark phenomenon shows only the black color. So then the sensors are modified to take the pictures through true color composite. The second image which we are seeing is the true color composite. True color composite means the objects which have its original color is captured in that satellite through the sensors. So as we can see, the trees are green, so it is reflected as green. The rivers or the water is blue, so we can see it as blue color only. So visible rays or visible radiations which are placed in EMR spectrum is used in true color composites. But sometime what happens when the phenomenons which have very minute boundary or very short boundaries, at that time we can't differentiate those two phenomenons from a large height. So at that time we have to use the false color composite. False color composite has the characteristic of introduction of infrared radiations into the visible radiations. So at that time what happens, that the blue color which have very short wavelength is been removed from the bands, and the three band places are placed by green, red and infrared radiations. And at that time what happens, that the phenomenons which are seen blue are seen green, the green phenomenons are seen red. So in this third image you can see that the vegetation which is been seen green in the second image is seen red in the third image. So this is called the false color composite. Now we'll start with the core of this topic, that is photo interpretation technique. As false color composite helps us to differentiate the boundaries or differentiate the objects, but sometimes there are few lacunas which do not help us to interpret any photo or interpret any objects. So there are the elements which helps us to interpret any remotely sensed image. Now the learning objective of today's session is what do you mean by photo interpretation techniques, and second are the 8 elements which are used to interpret any photo. Those 8 elements are shape, size, tone, texture, shadow, sight, association and pattern of any object or phenomenon. Now firstly we'll start with photo interpretation technique. Now what do you mean by photo interpretation and technique? If you take any normal image from your mobiles, so you can interpret the image, that you can see if a person is been captured in that photo. So there is a person, behind the person there you can see a different scenario. It may be your beach, it may be the garden, or it may be any mountainous area, because the mobile camera have the sensors which captures the image from a certain distance. But as the satellites are thousands of kilometers away from the earth platform or earth surface, so there you can capture a huge area. As you can see in a topo sheet or in a map, that the scale is been maintained in every topo sheet. Each kilometer is equal to example meters or centimeters, it can be anything. So large area is been captured in that sensors, so we need an interpretation technique. This photo interpretation techniques comes under the characteristics of aerial photography. Aerial photography, as we have studied in previous lecture, that aerial photography means capturing of photographs from an height by using any aeroplanes or helicopters or any satellite. So these photo interpretation techniques are used. The main requirement of this interpretation techniques have 3 basic reasons. These are the 3 basic reasons of capturing the photo from this remotely sensed satellite. The first is to capture an area from a large height, as by this sensor a large area can be captured. The secondly is that you can convert that captured data in 2D form or 3D form, that is the height of any building, any mountain can easily be determined, and you can differentiate that a mountain is of less height or a huge height and what the area is transformed into. If it is an industrial area, so due to that 3D view you can see that it is the building is covering a large area, and if the area is very less but the height is more, then you can convert it into that it is an residential area. So likewise, like this second reason, you can convert the image into 3D form. And the third basic reason to capture this aerial photography is the characteristics of any object or phenomenon which is been captured in that particular image. So now we'll start with the elements of image interpretation. So now we have studied what is the false color composite. So we have captured the image and we have converted the bands. Now after conversion of the bands, we have started to interpret the photo. But you can characterize that what is the residential area, how is the land cover and land use of any image, and if it is used for oceans or rivers, if it is used for any forest area, it can be differentiated broadly. But if we have to differentiate that area into more minute characteristic, then we need this interpretation technique. So these elements are used to differentiate the objects, that is shape, size, tone, texture, shadow, sight, association and pattern. Now this is an triangle which shows how the elements are differentiated into primary, secondary and tertiary form. The first is primary, which shows the tone and color of any object. The second is the secondary form of the elements, that is size, sight, shape and texture of that particular element. The third one is the tertiary part, which covers the pattern, shadow and height of that object, and the fourth one is the sight and association. Now we'll start with the first element, that is shape. Shape of any object is actually related with the geometry of aerial photograph, that is how the shape is round, square, rectangle, what pentagon, hexagon, whatever may be the shape, it can specify a specific object. If you can see a rectangular, a long phenomenon or object, then you can identify that it may be a train. Second, if you can see a small rectangle, you can identify it may be a bus. You can see a particular oval shaped ground structure, then you can identify that it may be a running track. So like this, shape helps us to identify what object or phenomena is situated at that particular area. For example, we'll take this image. You can see a round structure in the center of that image. This round structure and a shadow between it, and there is a space. So this space can identify that it may be a stadium. And similarly, you can see different rectangular shape and it have a certain shadow. So there it may be a buildings which is situated near to the stadium. The second example, will take the example which I have given about the stadium. You can see here there is an oval long shape area and between it there is a short oval shape. So similarly, it can be a running track. So the long one is the large distance running track and the short one is between it, that is short running track, and the various roads you can see at that side. So likewise, this shape help us to differentiate the phenomenon. One more examples, here are number of examples. So the first one, you can see that the shape which is been seen, you can identify that it is an aeroplane. Second, in the second image you can identify that it is a bus. Likewise, these all 6 images you can identify that from the shape what object it may be. The second one is size. Size of objects helps us to compare any object with the second object. That is, the size of one object may be long, the second may be short. So you can compare it with, it may be a long bus, it may be a short bus. Or you can identify that if in oceans you may see a large size object, so it may be a long ship or cruise, and if you see a very short object, so it may be a small boat also in that ocean. So likewise, from this image you can identify that in the first image you can see small rectangles. So from that size you can identify that it is the cars. Then the second one are, you can see the lines, so it may be a railway track. In the below row you can see the first, that there is an rectangle, or you can see a right angle, and there is an oval attached to it. So it may be a basketball stadium or baseball stadium. So, and in the third up row image you can see that there is a rectangle and these small rectangles are attached to it. So you can identify that it may be a bus stop, and different types of buses are being parked near to the bus stop. So this is the element size which helps us to interpret the image. Now we'll start with the tone. So tone is related to the color. How the color is differentiated into different shades. So this tone is divided into light tone, medium tone and dark tone. If you have seen in the last point that light, medium and dark topic is used. So light means the light which is reflected may be in less wavelength. Medium tone, it is medium wavelength, and dark, that means the absorption of light is too high. So if there is an object with very dense characteristic, so it have a dark tone. Like near to the seashores in water bodies, you can see light tone of that color, but as you go in the deep oceans, you can see that the color goes to be dark, the tone becomes very dark of that ocean. Similarly, into the if you are studying the trees or grasslands and forest, if you are differentiating it, the grasslands have the grasses in very sparse form, so you can see that the color is very light, but as you go into the forest area, the area becomes very dense due to the vegetation, and which shows the very dark tone of vegetation. So this tone is used to differentiate the object. If we are studying through the images, so we can see that this is an agricultural field. This field is differentiated into different types of tones. Somewhere you can see the dark tone, some in the middle there are few patches which you can see where there is very light tone. So accordingly you can say that the light patches have very less vegetation, and as you go to the dark tone, it have very dense vegetation into it. With second example, you can see over here there are three images of same situation or same place. There are different images, so accordingly you can see that where there is sand area surrounding the island, there is very light tone because there is an sand particles near to the water. But as you can see that due to high tide, in this first picture you can see due to high tide the water has been entered near to the island, and so the light tone area is been covered by the dark tone of the water. So this tone is used to differentiate the objects. The next is the texture. So texture means the texture can be used for any object that you can as you see the texture of any cloth, whether it is smooth or whether it is rough. So these similar points are used to interpret the images: texture, smooth texture and rough texture. If you can see that there is a plane surface which absorbs same type of radiation throughout the area, so it is called as smooth texture. And if there are some ups and downs, and if there are differentiation in the patterns of any objects, so you have to convert it into rough texture. These images helps us to identify the texture. So you can see that somewhere there are smooth textures that side, somewhere here there are smooth textures. So there may be water body which have very plain surface. So this dark tone with rough texture helps us to identify that it may be the vegetation which is placed between these two water bodies. Now next, this image also helps us to identify that this water body which is surrounding over the island. So how I am identifying it as an island? Because here you can see the dark tone with smooth texture, so it may be a water body, and in between you can see the light tone. This light tone means it can be an island or any land part or terrestrial ecosystem which is placed surrounding the water body. Now this is also these examples also helps us to identify the texture. Like here in the bottom, in the first image, you can see that there are different rough textured objects which are placed in a particular line. So by the shape in combination with the texture, in combination with the tone, like all the elements when you are combining together, you can identify that what is the object. So accordingly you can identify that it may be the vegetation. Similarly, in this upper third one also image, you can see that there are different rod like shaped objects which are placed one above the other in the two rows. So you can identify due to the texture and shape or the pattern also that there may be the wooden rods or trunks of the trees which are placed one above the other. Next is the shadow. Shadow plays an important role to identify or measure the height of any object with help of the sun's angle. When you are studying the sun angle which shows the shadow of an object, then you can determine how the height can be measured of any object. In the previous lecture of geometry of aerial photography, we have studied the calculation of measurement of height. So in that you have studied that how the shadow helps us to identify the height of any object. For example, if we are studying this image, this is the perfect example of shadow. In the first image you can see the man which is cycling, you can see the shadow is very long. So it may be the time of morning or it may be the time of evening, due to which the sun is in line of that man which is cycling, or it may be at 180 degree. So the shadow is very long. But when you are comparing it with second image, at that time you can see that shadow becomes very short, or it may becomes very in a specific area. So at that time it may be the morning time of 10 to 11 o'clock, or it may be the time of 5 to 6 o'clock, due to which the shadow can be seen likewise. But when you are talking about the third image, you can see the shadows size is very small. So it may be the noon time when the sun angle is above the head of the man. So due to which the shadow is very small. So this sun angle plus the shadow can make you to identify or make you to calculate the height of any object. So these are also some examples of shadow. In the first image you can see you can't identify the object, but due to the shadow you can see that there are different rods and a man is standing near to the rod. It may be few boundaries where you can see the man is standing over there. In the second image of that particular row, you can see only a line or a boundary or a wall, but due to the shadow you can see that it may be the wall of any fort. So likewise shadow helps you to identify different objects and to measure the height of that particular object. Next is the site. Site means where the object is been placed or where the object lies. It may be near to the water body, it may be near to the forest area, it may be near to the residential area. So what is the site of that particular object? With the example I will explain you. So here you can see that there is a smooth texture with dark tones. So the flowing, it may be any river, but you can see at the end of the image the water shows very rough texture. So rough texture means it may be falling from a certain height. That means this is a dam area. It is the collection area of water from where the water is flowing down. So what is the site of that residential area? The site is near to the dam, whatever dam it may be, and you can see a line crossing above the dam. So example, it may be a road which is going from above the dam area or above the water. This is a perfect example of site. Next is the association. Association means a combination of two different things with each other and how they are how they lies with each other or how they are placed with each other. For example, you can see that there is an association of terrestrial area with river body or with a water body or with the aquatic ecosystem. So the association is of an city in association with river which is passing through it. So there are different cities from between a river is passing. So association is what? a city which have a river body which is crossing between it. This is an example of association. So this is also another example. You can see a city is lying, but a river which is passing have an U-turn between that city. So what is the association between it? That there is a city, but in association with it a water body has a U-turn with it. So this is an perfect example of association, or you can use this particular example for explaining the sight as an element of photo interpretation. So now the last element of photo interpretation is the pattern, a specific pattern of any object which is placed in a particular area. So pattern can be, if you can see squares lying in a one line, so you can say that boxes are lying. If you see very different triangles with shadow, so you from that triangular pattern or triangular shape and the shadow, you can say that those are the pyramids of Egypt. So this is the example of pattern. Here you can see that in a pattern there is an residential area of a colony. So how in a particular pattern a society is been built. This is called a particular pattern. Next is the example. In the first you can see that there are different shapes which are parked nearby or which are placed nearby. So by that shape and by that pattern you can see that near to the airport the aeroplanes which are not being used are being parked over there. So this is a type of pattern. Pattern mostly it is used for identification of agricultural field or fruit orchards mostly, or to identify that where the port is been placed. Port means where the ships are being parked. So in the ocean or in the water body the ships are parked at a certain distance. So that can be identified by using a pattern as an element of photo interpretation. Now we have seen what are the color composites, what are the photo interpretation techniques, how elements are used to interpret the photos. So from this whole lecture you all students have to complete this assignment and send it to the classroom code which is been given at the bottom of this slide. So in the first question of the assignment is explain the difference between false color composite and true color composite. So in this particular question you have to explain what is false color composite, what is true color composite, and how they differ from each other. This second question is what is the importance of photo interpretation technique, how the photo interpretation technique is done and how it is important to determine or to differentiate all the phenomenons from the earth surface. So what is the interpretation of this technique? And the last question is enlist the elements of photo interpretation technique and explain each in short. So in very short 2 to 3 lines you have to explain all the elements of photo interpretation and send it to the classroom, Google Classroom. So here we'll see what we have studied in the whole lecture. The first part was introduction to color composite. What do you mean by EMR spectrum? What is mean by color composite? What is true color composite, false color composite? How they are formed is been studied in the first part. The second is photo interpretation technique. What are the techniques to interpret the photo? And in the third part of the lecture we have studied all these 8 elements and the examples which are related to that particular elements. In the next lecture we are going to study the unit 7, that is remote sensing platforms. There are 3 types of remote sensing platform, that is geosynchronous, sun synchronous and polar orbit platform.